All right, welcome, folks. So we are here for Civ4 AI Survivor, season number 7, playoff game number 2. This is our second of 3, and the first and second place finishers in this game will move on to the championship. The season is over for the other 4 leaders, regardless of what happens to them. As far as this game goes, the favorite in the picking contest is Kubla Khan, who's down here. It was picked by about half of the people in the contest. Also, some picks on De Gaulle and Hannibal and Louis are the other ones who have some picks to their name. You can see I have picked De Gaulle because I like his starting position. Now, this game is pretty wide open. I think that this game's very unpredictable because we don't have anyone in this game who starts with mysticism, like literally no one. So where these religions go is going to be pretty up in the air. And a bunch of these leaders don't declare war at pleased. Who is it? It's De Gaulle doesn't declare war at pleased, Hannibal doesn't, and one of these other, I think Mehmed also doesn't declare it pleased. And they all have low peace weight. There's no high peace weight leaders in this game. Everyone is peace weight 2, 1, or 0 in this game. So if they share a religion and they're pleased, they're just not going to declare war no matter what. So we could have a very static game, or we could have a bloodthirsty game, depending on where these religions shake out. So like I said, it's very much up in the air. And I think it's going to be very unpredictable. I think when we do the alternate histories, it's just going to be like all over the place in terms of results. But let's find out. All right, so the only one who's going for our initial religion is Kublai, which is funny because as a creative leader, he probably needs it less than almost anyone else. De Gaulle is going for animal husbandry. Everyone else is hunting. So De Gaulle apparently realizes he's got the cows, but that's actually really good for him because it's going to unlock his horses too. So that's pretty nice. And then where are the settlers going? Okay. So let's see. It's wherever the archers are here on the screen. So Toku going northwest is probably not great for him. Hannibal going northwest. This is good for Hannibal that Kublai is going west and not east. Because, it's possible that Kublai could have gone and tried to settle this rice, I suppose. Toku going for clams. He might be. Just advance a turn or two and see. So it looks like Kublai is going to get the first religion. Now the question is, does that set back his start? It actually does set back his start a fair bit because he starts with wheel and hunting, which means he can build roads, but he can't connect any of these resources. So it is going to mean a slower start for Kublai because he's going for that initial religion. All right, now he's going to have this is going to be his holy city. Not terrible. He'll have an agriculture. So he needs to go agriculture after he finishes his religious chase. And he will lock down marble. It would have been nicer, I think, if he had gone a little further away from his capital, but that's not bad. All right, we also have, it's not great, but it's not terrible. So Hannibal is on the hill tile. It is a plains hill, so he's got the double production plant, so that's not bad. He's going to need to get agriculture. That said, he's on hunting right now, so he's already mined his pig's tile, and then he can connect the ivory, and he's building a workboat. So I do think his capital is going to be pretty strong. I'm less clear where he goes after that. And then also up here, Toku did go for the clam spot. Double food, not bad. He has animal husbandry. This will not be too bad. He starts with fishing and mining, I believe, are the Japanese starting texts. It's fishing something. What is Japan? Fishing the wheel. Okay. Fishing wheel. Interesting. Well, it's not a bad city at all. A lot of food, certainly. All right. We also have a city from Mehmed. This is pretty terrible. I guess he can farm the rice. It is a dry rice, though, which is barely a resource tile. He already farmed this copper tile. Yeah, he's just... I'm a little surprised he didn't open with fishing tech. He went hunting for his ivory. So there's that. By the way, Louis is still not settled yet. De Gaulle, interesting. I don't like this city at all. Don't like this spot. He somehow managed to dodge every floodplains and dodge the animal husbandry resources. If he builds a monument, it gets a lot better. But he's going to need mysticism tech for that. So I mean, there's a lot of potential here, right? Floodplains it's 3 floodplains in the second ring, double animal husbandry resources in the second ring. But if he ignores mysticism, this city is garbage, unfortunately for him. And then we're still waiting on Louis. Is he going to settle the gold tile? Okay. On the gold. Okay. Well, he does have pigs in the second ring. So he wastes 1 gold, but he will get the second gold. Interesting. Yeah, 22 turn settler as well for him. All right. As I said, I don't love this spot for Louis. It's not, I mean, it does get the gold, but I don't love the spot. At least he'll have a decent amount of happiness. I guess he doesn't have a lot of food resources in his area. He definitely needs to try to get to this floodplains before Mehmed, who is building a settler in his jungle city. All right, so we have some very slow settler builds here. All right. Anyway, so next up is who's going to found the religions. So Kublai is going to found meditation. We know that. Who's going to be the next one to go on a religion? No one else is on mysticism yet. So let's just next turn this until someone goes for agriculture for Hannibal to make use of his corn. That makes total sense. By the way, look at this nice starting here. Very nice, and can work the ivories. It's a strong opener for his capital. As I said, I think he has a good capital. I just don't like the rest. Toku and Louis on the poison pill archery tech to start. Yeah, if Dagalgo's religion is actually pretty good for him here, because this being a holy city would actually be very good for him. It's also building roads over here. Hey, buddy, you need to connect your animal husbandry resources. Wow, that is a lot of floodplains. Jeez, a lot of unhealth. He has 4 unhealthiness here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 floodplains. Jesus, if he ever cottages all of them. Oh, he's going for pottery. Okay, that's not a bad call. That means he'll be able to cottage those. And will also provide health, so not bad. How about Kublai? Kublai is still on meditation. He's just very slowly building a settler here. See who is the next one to try to research. Hannibal or Toku, I wouldn't be shocked if one of them goes for a religion here. Let's see. Nope, Toku's animal husbandry. Nope, Hannibal's on the poison pill archery. Okay. No one making the effort. Louis, maybe it'll be Louis. Louis has cultural emphases, so I wouldn't be shocked if he goes out. By the way, quite a nice road. Built this elaborate road all the way down there. Did take the time to farm that though. So, and apparently wants a road connection here. Kind of curious about that. Toku is building a workboat for his clams. That makes total sense. Why he would want to do that. Yeah, the French love their roads, apparently. No, Louis on mining. Okay. Huh. I really thought he might go meditation or mysticism and try to found a religion because he's got the cultural flavors, but nope. Still sitting there, still available for somebody. And our first religion is picked up right where we expect it to. Now, who's going to get the first settler out? 7 turns, 10 turns, 4. Okay, it looks like it's going to be Louis. It's going to get, wow, this is a slow settler build down here. Very slow settler build. Much better looking over here, though. Look at this. This is pretty nice. I wonder if Louis will research mysticism because he's charismatic and he wants to build monuments. A Stonehenge build would certainly be good for him. Anyway, let's watch Louis because he's going to get the next settler out. Of course, Kublai is going to revolt there. Imperialistic traits completely out of the tournament. De Gaulle is charismatic, excuse me. Louis, I thought has cultural flavors, so I thought he might want to go for religion because he has cultural research emphases. All right, Mehmed, do you want to go for a religion? You have a lot of other needs right now. At least you did manage to farm this tile, so that's something overall there. This will be a very early horses connected for De Gaulle, for what that's worth, so that's something he's got. Toku's also going to have early horses connected too, so that's nice. And that early pottery is pretty tempting for someone who has all those floodplains. Nope, Mehmed is on pottery as well. Now pottery, he can't. Now this is a mistake of a tech because he can't do anything with pottery until he has bronze working. He's all forest and jungle, so I mean, I guess he can cottage these 2 tiles, and I mean, he can build granaries, but I don't know, not a lot there. So anyway, yes, we're gonna watch the settler. There's a settler that was just finished. Oh, it's already. Wait, where did it go? Oh, it's up here. It's up here. He just finished it here. And then who's next on a settler after? I think it's going to be Hannibal is the next one. Hannibal and Mehmed are going to be the next ones, but we can watch this one up here first. So De Gaulle is going mysticism. So wow, De Gaulle is almost certainly going to get the second religion because if it's there, the AI will continue chasing it. I think that's really good for De Gaulle. It does mean he's more likely to get sucked into combat with Kublai, though. Unfortunately for De Gaulle, his favorite tile improvement is farms. Yeah, Yeah, that is a bit of an issue. And he's already farming this tile when he has more food than he can possibly use. He's already farming that. Well, we'll see if he's smart enough to build cottages. Um, he's slowly working on that settler right now. Anyway, Louis is moving this settler down here. So, oh, Louis is going mysticism. Hold on. So Louis looks like he might get the second religion then. He swapped over, either he picked that up or swapped over to it. So I think Louis wins this race. He's definitely ahead in the competition between the dual Frances. And he's not actually working with a gold tile. He just has more commerce, or he started earlier or something. Anyway, all right, so there. I was like, where did that other French city go? And there it is. Okay. Animal husbandry gives the sheep on the hill furs. Not terrible. Could be better. Could be worse. Not bad. And then what other settlers do we have? I think Hannibal was the one who had the settler. Okay, so he's got it escorted by a warrior. That's a little dangerous. And then Mehmed also finished one too. Yeah, Mehmed just finished one too. And Kublai's close and Toku is close. But let's watch where Hannibal's going. All right, he's going the correct direction, which is towards Kublai. So that's good. Yeah, it looks like Louis is the favorite to win this race for the religion. All right, managed to get an archer protecting this, because otherwise this could be a little bit dangerous. Where's Mehmed? All right, Mehmed's going northwest. That's probably not the best direction to go overall. Oh, wow, early Stonehenge. Holy cow. Well, that's really good for De Gaulle because he's got that charismatic trait. He's just going to build a super early Stonehenge. Wow. Okay. Not bad. Doesn't look like he's going to get a religion, though. Well, it's a shame that he's going to miss this religion for his sake and for people who picked him, like me. Because the early Stonehenge would give him a profit for a shrine, which would be pretty nice, but can't have everything. Anyway, keep watching. Oh, wow, where's this going? I thought it was going to settle this region in here, like maybe right here on this Plains Hill. I mean, I guess it could still head in that direction. And Mehmed looks like he's going to settle this corner up here. Oh, why? Why not one tile north? Why not one tile north? Okay, I know the reason why. It's because the AI wanted to get the bananas, but why not one tile north, Mehmed? If you don't research mysticism, which you might... Oh, he is researching it. Okay, that's quite good for him that he's researching it. Otherwise, he could have gotten stuck with these resources unavailable for ages and ages on end. Yeesh. Um, anyway, so back to Hannibal, watching this city. So I guess he's going to settle here? Or maybe here? Anyway, Toku finished his settler while that was going on and settled on the stone. And then we have a settler. Oh, wow. Kublai's going straight west. Wow. I did not anticipate Kublai to just go west-west with his settlers. Definitely going to mean that De Gaulle does not have as much room as some of us thought he would. So if he settles like right here, that would be an awfully nice and lock down the gold tiles. That would be pretty nice. Yeah, there's a Barb City, right? Popped up right in the middle, dead center of the map. So it'll be interesting to see who gets that. Wow, why? Why this spot? Why one off the coast? What a strange place to put a city. Still, this has been a good opener for Hannibal because, like, Kublai could have gone directly towards him. Kublai has gone in the opposite direction. That's pretty good news. And then here comes De Gaulle. So I thought Hannibal and Kublai might get sucked into a war, but it looks like it's going to be. It looks like it could be De Gaulle and Kublai sucked into a war with one another. Anyway, it's pretty tight so early on. But it looks like Louis is going to win this race for polytheism by one turn over De Gaulle. I wonder if De Gaulle goes for monotheism down the road because it is really close between the two of them. Hannibal is picking up bronze working, so that's a thing. And it looks like the religion's going to pop up probably here in Rems. So indeed it does. We have our two religions for the game. Where they spread is going to be really interesting to see. Okay. So everybody has 3 cities now except De Gaulle and Kublai. I suspect they're both going to be settling in this river valley here. Well, remember how you said that De Gaulle wasn't going to build cottages? He actually is. Of course, he has to work them. He's about to build Stonehenge, too. He'll probably get a religion at some point just from a great profit, if nothing else. Is he gonna settle on the gold like a moron? Looks like he's probably gonna settle on the gold. Well, at least this city will now pop its borders and will be a decent city again. Yep. That said, this is a pretty nice happy cap here. It's got the 7 happiness. So and look at that. Look, working these cottages. I have no idea why he cottage this style. Needs to get some more settlers out, but it's pretty good early game commerce to say the least. Okay. So who else then has settlers on the map? Does anyone have a settler actively on the map right now? I don't think so. That's a worker. Yeah, no one actively has a settler on the map right now, so we can just see who's next closest. I do think it's kind of wild that these two push directly towards each other like that. I thought there'd be a lot of space between them, but no, apparently not. That said, Kublai has the middle position, which can be strong because you can expand in more directions, but it also can be dangerous if you get involved in two front wars. So, France and settling on gold, name a better combination. So the gold has not been connected via trade route yet over there. Let's see. I would say Toku and Mehmed do not feel like they're in especially strong positions at the moment. At least Toku did get his horses connected. Yep, it was a race to the best tiles on the map. So Louise got another settler halfway done at this point. Yeah, this is there's going to be conflict between these two. Let's just put it that way. These two are already right on top of each other. If they share the same religion, maybe they can stay peaceful. If they don't share the same religion, expect to see fireworks between them. How about Hannibal? He's got settlers under production too. Where are Kublai's closest horses? That's a good question. Look at the strategic map. So over here, if he doesn't get this source, he's going to have to trade for them most likely, or that source. I guess he could theoretically get up there, but that seems a little less likely. So yeah, he's going to need to extend out a bit if he's going to be getting that. Oh wow, another Barb City literally on Kublai's borders. That's annoying. That's an annoying spot indeed. So where do we have them? They have 2 dead center of the map and then 1 in this corner over here. By the way, De Gaulle, maybe you should like build some settlers, dude. He's just cranking out chariots at the moment with the barracks. Okay, buddy. Don't think you're going to kill a Barb City on a hill anytime soon, though. Anyway, De Gaulle might actually be going for... I thought he might be going for monotheism, but not so far. Anyway. Okay. So we said Louis was the one who's going to have a settler out next, right? Yeah, it's about to finish here. So let's see where he sends this. Doing a nice job of claiming territory up there at the top of the map so far. All right, here it goes, heading east, apparently. On its way. Building the Oracle, okay, and another settler. Settler over here, double settlers. We've got, is this a settler over here? All right, we've got one from Hannibal as well. De Gaulle still is not building settlers. There's a size 9 capital working all these cottages. He's almost certainly just going to stumble into a religion because his early game research is so high. Like, look at these numbers: 11, 7, 15 from Louis, 20 from De Gaulle. He's like double most of the other AI leaders. Toku's on 7, so probably going to stumble his way into a religion somehow. I have no idea why he's working this tile here. Anyway, so we're watching the Louis settler, we're watching the Hannibal settler. Mehmed should be pretty close. Yeah, he's finishing one too. So we'll see who gets this land. Yeah, Louis looking pretty strong. I thought he'd be pretty strong on this map. That's why I have him for second. Of course, I might end up having that backwards. Hannibal has a settler here, being defended by 5 archers. I don't know if you need that much protection for your settler, buddy. I do wonder if these Barb cities over here are going to mess up Kublai and Hannibal, though. All right, so Kublai plus down another city over here. So he picks up, well, he already had copper connected. He just needs to research bronze working. He doesn't have bronze working yet, does he? No. For some reason, he's on masonry. I guess he has marble, that's why. So he doesn't have metals connected yet. And this horse resource is still going to be interesting to see. I actually think this city is pretty decent. Double floodplains and a sheep resource to connect. So I think that's pretty good. De Gaulle, do you ever want to build settlers, buddy? Why are you cranking out so many chariots? Did build an awful lot of cottages, but still needs to connect this. For some reason, farming a floodplain is more important than connecting these resource tiles. I don't know. I have no idea what he's doing with these chariots. Cranking out more workers for some reason. Oh well, I guess he feels like he has enough. He can't plot war right now, can he? No, he needs a metal resource connected to plot war. I was like, he's not going to slam chariots into this one archer defending this city, is he? Apparently not. So I have no idea what he's doing. All right, so we did have Louis settle a city to call it Farms, name a more iconic duo. This is not as good as some of his other cities, but it's still on this central road network, so it's certainly not bad. And who else was? We were checking Hannibal, where Hannibal had a settler out too. Here it is. Or wait, no, it's still sitting in Utica. He must be threatened by barbs. There it goes. Now it's finally starting to move out. Mehmed has grabbed a fourth city over here. He is still stuck in the jungle, unfortunately for him. Very much trapped there. And Toku founded a city here that has no food bonuses. Unfortunately, Toku is already getting close to being out of room to expand. I guess he can get some more here, but that is the issue with these eastern starts, is they're pretty cramped. Oh man, another barb city. 3 barb cities in a belt across the center of the map. Pretty wild. Pathfinding is being affected by the small mountain range. Maybe. The AI does struggle with the mountains sometimes. They definitely have issues with that. Yeah, the 3 barb cities in the middle of the map, that's really wild. That's going to delay how long before the AIs start meeting each other, as like everybody is on bronze working. Hannibal on iron working. Jeez, buddy. He already has copper, so he doesn't need iron per se. Although I think he has iron nearby somewhere. And we're almost to turn 50 here. So Hannibal, is he going to plop it down in that little corridor there? Okay, wow. Look at this. In between 2 peaks, apparently. Just going to grab that little spot down there. Interesting. De Gaulle is still not building settlers. What is he doing? Why is he not building settlers? This is pretty wild. I'm just like, why are you still on 3 cities, buddy? I don't quite get this. I don't quite understand this move. Why so many chariots? Hannibal settled on the East Coast. Okay, so he double settled. With that, Hannibal would benefit from researching mysticism tech because none of his cities have expanded borders. All right, Louis also finished the Oracle. Nice. Let's see what tech he grabbed. Monarchy. Interesting. I guess because he doesn't have bronze working, he couldn't do metal casting, so he just went for monarchy. Hereditary rule would be pretty nice on this map, though. Hereditary rule is always handy. And he does have wines, too, so I can't fault that. It was not a bad grab. So he's going to have wines and furs to go with this gold. Looks like a pretty good opener there. Hannibal's territory is a really weird shape on the map. Yeah, France and wines, name a more iconic duo now. So this barb city is apparently killed something, but some archers have died in this barb city. That said, it doesn't look like it's going to get captured by anyone anytime soon. So turn 50, certainly an interesting first 50 turns here. I would say that Louis and Kublai are off to pretty good starts. Hannibal, maybe. I think the issue for him is that lack of mysticism is hurting him a lot. That's going to slow him down a bit. The 3 barb cities could be problematic, though. Have to see who manages to capture them. I think it's been a decent start for de Gaulle, but the lack of settlers are really puzzling. Why he hasn't built settlers by now, I don't really understand. Um, and it's not such a good start for Tokugawa and Mehmed. I mean, Mehmed's hanging in there on the scoreboard. Just has a lot of jungle tiles and forest tiles he's going to need to cut down. Anyway, if you're curious about the graphs, GMP looks like de Gaulle and Louis are leading in that. Toku's economy looks like it's awful. Production, de Gaulle's suffering from bad production. That's his issue. Food, number 1 in food, but poor production. Power, Hannibal's number 1 in that. Culture, Kublai Khan is first, and Louis is second. That's the Stonehenge build right there, obviously. Okay. All right, so here we go. Most cultured, Kublai has a religion and a holy city, or a holy city and is creative. And he's getting ready to get out his next settler. So again, if Louis doesn't build settlers soon, or De Gaulle doesn't build settlers soon, he's just going to be out of the game because he, is not expanding. For some reason, he's just massing chariots. I don't really do not understand this at all. Like he has all the tiles in the world here, and he's just massing endless chariots for what reason I cannot fathom. How many chariots does he have? Just out of curiosity. Apparently, oh, if we I think we have to refresh the map. Let's see, does that show them? No, we still can't see them. Interesting. I thought that this worked, but apparently it doesn't. Purple France just settled. Yep. And this is actually an important spot because it locks down the floodplains region. Yeah, Louis is actually really, really looking strong here. I underestimated how strong he would look. Kind of wish I had my picks reversed, as people suggested. De Gaulle is kind of trolling. He is a settler, apparently. Does he? Did I miss him with a settler somehow? Nope, I don't see one. Pretty sure he doesn't have a settler. Oh, now he's finally starting one. Okay. And the AI will whip these, by the way. All right, so map's starting to fill up. Louis finally finishing bronze working, and De Gaulle's about to found his own religion. Okay, that's the noteworthy thing is he's about to found his religion. So he's going to be pulled into conflict with, oh boy, all of the top leaders are going to have their own religion. So that's probably unlikely that these guys can coexist together. It was fun having someone streaming in the house. Wait to notice the beef jerky I put in his doorway. Okay. I heard, I just didn't want to interrupt. So we've got a religion now for France. So 3 religions, all of them in the center to the west of the map overall. Yeah, I try not to eat on stream, generally speaking. This Barb City is not going to fall anytime soon, not on a hill. Going to need something better than chariots to kill those archers. This one's on flat ground, so actually no, that's on a hill too. This one's on flat ground. And this one's on flat ground, so maybe someone could take this. Can we see relations? Sure. But it made sense to wait until after De Gaulle flipped into his religion. Mostly pretty happy overall. Louis does not like Kublai. That's interesting. Louis Kublai, some dislike right there. Also, Louis does not like De Gaulle, but they're not likely to have border tension. But mostly pleased across the board because everybody has the same piece weight. All right, so we had, was this just founded up here? Yeah, we just had city number 5 for Mongols in this spot. 1 floodplains, I wouldn't say amazing, but given what was available, not terrible. It does grab ivory too, so that's something. Hannibal is looking pretty decent overall. We had Toku toss down a city here, Kagoshima, because he's starting to run out of room. And it looks like Louis is still expanding. He's still building more settlers. And his economy doesn't seem to be hurting much. So, yeah, Louis is looking pretty sharp here. That's a slow bronze working. Is Kublai's economy that bad? That could be trouble for. Oh yeah, that's a slow research, especially in comparison to Louis and De Gaulle, who are wow. De Gaulle is actually researching really fast here. If you can actually get some cities down. Oh, what's the? Oh, here's the De Gaulle. Here's De Gaulle's settler. Okay, so he's gonna grab that spot, presumably. Okay. I think I would have liked on the hill a little bit more, considering that this could be a border city, but okay. Kublai needs to connect these gold tiles. He definitely has the food to work them. So he needs to get a worker. All right, he does have a worker over here. That'll help his economy if he can get that. Apparently, De Gaulle's going to build the Great Wall, I suppose. He does like those wonders, and he's going for iron working. Does he have iron anywhere? He has iron just outside his capital, so he'll probably grab that. I presume he's going to want to settle for stone too. And he just whipped another settler. Okay. Meanwhile, Toku grabbed this spot down here. De Gaulle wanted to make sure his city has access to horse as well. I guess so. This city over here already had horses, though, so he probably didn't need that too badly. So starting to, I mean, one nice thing about this city is it does open up a little path down here. Now, the land down here is kind of garbage, but there is a silver and a deer, so there, there's something down here. And then he can put cities back here, and then there's also this northwest corner, too. But it's true the map is starting to fill up at this point. Mehmed put a troll spot above De Gaulle. Oh yeah, he did. Okay, well, yeah, that's. I like this is barely even a city because that actually has a very high chance of flipping because this city's going to pop borders in 8 turns and it's going to swallow that up, and it's early enough in the game that it's very hard to suppress a flip with like just stacking units. So there's a good odds that this actually flips. Oh wow, Toku finished the Great Wall 1 turn before 1 turn before De Gaulle did. I don't know that that's a particularly impactful wonder on this map. I don't think barbs are causing a lot of issues. Might actually be better for De Gaulle to get all this fail gold. He's actually going to get a lot of money. Um, and he avoids having a great spy for his first great person. He's yeah, he's going to get a profit for his shrine, so that might be nice. I think De Gaulle's position is pretty solid here, but the big thing De Gaulle needs is he needs Louis and Kublai to fight. Louis and Kublai are the 2 strongest AIs. If they end up in conflict with one another, that would be pretty good for De Gaulle. And then De Gaulle would want to take over Mehmed, who is looking as weak as expected. Anyway, Toku is, I don't know if Toku's going to be first to die, but he doesn't look very strong. He might just be stuck on 5 cities here. By the way, we should start checking to see if anyone wants to start plotting. I guess you don't have metals connected. I guess nobody really has metals connected. Does anyone have a metal resource connected yet? You don't have any strategic resources at all. So I guess no one would because they don't. Amazingly, Mehmed is the one who has a strategic resource connected. So he's going to be the first one who can build. That'd be good for him if he can go over here and maybe kill this Barb City or somehow grab the Barb Cities in the middle of the map. I guess they're just outside his territory. He can be the first one to build axes, so he might have a shot at getting some of these. Yeah, Toku, I highlighted this one a little earlier. Okay, Mehmed has picked up. Whose religion is this? Louis' religion. Okay. Noteworthy. Potential ally for Louis, potential rival for Kublai. This means more likely to have conflict between De Gaulle and Mehmed and also Kublai and Mehmed. So keep an eye on that. Barbs definitely do not have horse archers. They can't build. I'm pretty sure they can't even build horse archers. They do have archers. We give them archery tech at the beginning of the game because that way the Barb cities will spawn with archers instead of warriors. We don't really want the Barb cities to have warriors because anyway, pretty much any unit can just walk up and capture them. It was oil. Oh, no worries. Random oil resource. Okay, let's just see if we have any settlers out on the map right now. We probably have some somewhere. By the time we hit this stage of the game, like Kublai has one. Looks like Hannibal has one marching south down here. Once we get to this stage of the game, it's a little harder to track individual settlers. I think De Gaulle has double settlers. We'll see if he actually uses them. All right, there he goes. So I guess he is going to move. And he just finished ironworking, so he'll probably settle for that. Meanwhile, Hannibal's coming down here. There's also, all right, we got a genuine settling race here. Who's going to get the horses? This is pretty important because Kublai does not have horses if he doesn't get this. Who's going to get this? So Hannibal moves first in turn order, but I think Hannibal's going to move here, and then Kublai's going to settle. Let's see, they might both be moving to this tile too. This is a pretty important race. So there's an event that can spawn barb archers. Do we give bronze working? I don't think so because by the time that everybody gets bronze working, the barbs are going to be irrelevant on this map, I think. Let's see who gets this. So Kublai does lock down his source of horses, and Hannibal had a chance to get this. Now, this also greatly increases the odds that they're going to be in conflict with one another because those borders are going to pop, and there's going to be some tension there between the two of them, for sure. So at the moment, Kublai and Hannibal are pleased with one another. Yeah, no, it was a good move by Kublai. So what I think happened there was I think Hannibal moved to this tile, and then he ended his turn because he was on the forest, and Kublai moved here and settled, and then that bounced him north. So Hannibal's going to have to settle, probably settle for the iron somewhere in this area. Meanwhile, De Gaulle tossed the city down on the bottom coast, so he just researched ironworking, so presumably he'll connect that soon, and he has another settler somewhere up here. Ooh, okay, he's going to settle this little nook and cranny over here on the map, presumably. It's on a hill, and it's another iron resource. Does that deny Mehmed iron? No, Mehmed has an iron over here, and he already has copper. But if for some reason he doesn't get this iron, then Mehmed could be denied the iron. Also, this city is under a lot of cultural pressure. It's there's a 3% chance of revolt every turn. So let's reveal the map so we'll get notified if there's a revolt. It's just basically an indefensible city at this point. Almost no way you can hold that. So de Gaulle has punched out a little bit from his initial slowness. Meanwhile, Louis is still on 5 cities. De Gaulle's actually on 6 cities now, and he has room for a little more over here. So de Gaulle looking a little bit better. Had an ice city for Kublai, which normally would be garbage, but silver resource makes that worth settling. So Kublai doing a nice job of spreading out, and he's finally getting pottery tech. Meanwhile, Hannibal got a city all the way up here, and I think he still has another. He still has that settler we were watching before. Yeah. So Hannibal also spreading out as well. He really needs mysticism tech, like really needs it quite badly. Toku's out of room to expand right now. How are the Mehmed de Gaulle relations? Probably not good. De Gaulle is cautious with him, and Mehmed is cautious. Cautious either way. No one has a relation worse than cautious because everybody's got the same low peace weight here. So, and just to check to see if anybody is plotting yet. I don't think anyone is. I don't think de Gaulle has hooked up his iron yet. He's roading down here. He's done a pretty good job of cottaging his core, though. I mean, he farmed some of these, but like, there's a lot of cottages here. This is going to be this is a pretty good sign long term. His economy is going to be quite strong if he can avoid. I mean, if he is able to snowball over Mehmed, I do like his chances in this game. Yeah, Hannibal. This is one of the weirdest settling patterns for Hannibal, right? Some of these Barb cities, yeah, they're all still fully defended. No, it doesn't look like people have been able to get up to higher tier units. Hannibal actually has double settlers here. Is he going to move them out? Hannibal's economy does not seem to be that amazing, despite him being financial. Probably because he has all these size 1 cities that are buried in jungle. Does have the gems tile though, so that's helpful. And also has the ivory. So that's pretty cool. Oh man, Mehmed and de Gaulle look like they're going to have some real tensions this game. 6 cities for each, but de Gaulle's land is vastly superior in quality. If de Gaulle looks like he might easily be able to get to another, like a higher tier of military tech. He might, if he can get to like maces at an early date, Mehmed could be in some trouble here. Anyway, Louis top plus down this city here, so apparently he's just going to try to culturally flip the Barb cities. I guess that's the recipe. The middle of the map is definitely starting to get pretty bunched up here. So you would expect the border tensions to start. By the way, Toku is only just now getting bronze working. What the heck? Toku, what? Is he out of room to expand? Does he have he's got iron, but he doesn't have copper. This dude is looking pretty weak. He's actually, I think, in a worse position than Mehmed long term. So maybe Toku was a better pick for first to die. He's certainly not looking very good there. Toku has no economy. Of course, Mehmed doesn't really have much of an economy either, but I think he has more of one because he actually has cottaged his core. I don't know if Toku even. I guess Toku does have pottery because he has a cottage down, but he can't chop down the forest just yet because he's still trying to get bronze working there. But he did finally get bronze working, so now he's going to discover that he has to go iron working because he has no metals. And he really has no choice. He has to go there. This city still has a 4% chance to revolt every turn. Now, there's no guarantees, but over a long enough span of time, the odds are pretty high that ends up getting captured. By the way, is de Gaulle plotting war? He's stacking a lot of units in Dijon here while building the Temple of Artemis, so that's a thing. What he really should do is just send that stack over here and kill this Barb city. Now, he's not plotting war yet. I don't think anyone is. Nope. How about Kublai? Nope. Louis? Nope. All right, nobody's plotting war just yet. So it's certainly, there's like this, it's just so weird. We have this narrow band of Barb cities running right to the middle of the map. That's a lot of overlap right there. A lot of cultural overlap here between these cities. Might be some tensions there. By the way, this is not very well defended. You do wonder if there's like the alpha strike from de Gaulle that just goes here, boom, captures this city. That would really cripple Kublai if that happened. But we're a long way away from that. All right, so that's pretty significant. 2 big things there. First, Barb City goes down. Toku picks up Louis' religion. So Louis doing a good job of building a religious kind of block of allies here. He's got both of the northern AI leaders on his side. He got the Barb City, so that picks up another +1. It extends his reach further into the center of the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cities. And the other thing is, Prophet was born over here, so that's going to be the shrine for um, Islam, and so expect that religion to start spreading. De Gaulle also needs to get writing so he can sign open borders and then start spamming missionaries because I believe he's in. Is he in organized religion? Where is he? No, he is not in organized religion, but he will probably swap into it along with hereditary rule here because he did just pick up monarchy tech. Nope. Okay. Well, he looks like he's plotting war. He's building swords. Guess not. That city is still available for someone to capture, though. Poor Konya, by the way. This poor city. Wait. Apparently four units was enough to rule out a flip, I guess. So I guess that's not going to flip, but it's certainly going to be hard to defend. I don't think he's ever getting this tile or this tile back. Maybe this one. Anyway, so there are still some Barb cities here. It looks like people are going after Burgundian next. Yeah, Burgundian seems like the target right now. I see some Hannibal units over here. Yep, there's the shrine for Islam, and there he's adopting hereditary rule and organized religion, so he'll be able to spam missionaries, writing for open borders. I don't mean to undersell Louis, by the way. Louis is still the lead game leader overall. He founded this city, and he's going to get another ice city up here. So I really think Louis and de Gaulle are looking good. I think Kublay's score-wise, his position is good. Just tossed another city. For Kublai, I just worry about his economy. I think his econ is not in good shape right now. So I do worry about his position economically. Louis is about to found another religion here. It's really the two Frances are kind of dominating right now. But I mean, I feel pretty good that I have them 1 and 2 because they're in the strongest positions right now. I would not be amiss to Louis winning and de Gaulle getting second. Well, there's a long way from that. Mongols don't need econ, they just plunder the others. So 41 turns to Temple of Artemis is because Louis was in anarchy. Or de Gaulle was in anarchy. Louis now ate a turn of anarchy as well. That's why it took so long, is because it was in anarchy. Look at this additional happiness now from hereditary rule. That's two more cottages getting worked here. So already on the math, that's a pretty early math. On the math calendar, yeah, that's the econ route. You go math calendar and you hook up your calendar resources. He has 1, 2, not a ton of calendar resources overall. There's a settler running around here, isn't there? There's a settler here, but I don't know if there's a place for it to go. We'll see if he can cram it into some spot. This spot here closed off the north portion of the map. Maybe there's room for a settler, I don't know, here or something. This Barb City really should be the next target for both Mehmed and de Gaulle. They really should try to get this. Meanwhile, the center of the map, we still have Hannibal hanging out here. Who gets these Barb cities is actually kind of a big deal. Anyway, open borders are now in play for some of these leaders. Who's signing over? De Gaulle's already signed open borders with Hannibal and Louis. Not that he borders either of them. And yeah, it's mostly pleased faces so far. So this does seem like a game where it might be more peaceful than the group of leaders would lead you to think, because a lot of these guys don't declare war at pleased, as already mentioned. All right, so let's see what happens here. Chariots going up against these Barb Archers. Well, all right, well, I guess they didn't attack. I don't think that's going to go too well. Meanwhile, over here, we still got we got an axe that killed something. Still hanging out. Oh, Carthage getting a Barb City. That's nice. I didn't know that that one was being focused. Good for Hannibal. He really needs that. Of course, what he also really needs is he needs to get mysticism so he can pop his borders. He still does not have border expansions. So it's really stinting his cities. It actually looks like he might be plotting war too. So is he? No, not yet. How about Louis? No. De Gaulle? Oops, I clicked on him twice. He has writing. Okay, you're right. He's building libraries. All right, so that'll finally solve that issue. But it's definitely slowed down his early game. Toku, nope. All right, no one's plotting war at the moment. Just got writing. Gotcha. So we'll have to keep an eye on. So that's another writing. Temple of Artemis, not terribly impactful wonder, but is another wonder to put in his little chest, grab bag there. So archers. So how many barb cities are left? There's one more in the center of the map. Only one left in the center map. I don't think this can last for very long. And then there's the one way back here in the corner, which apparently is being targeted by the 10 billion French chariots. And I think Mehmed is probably building a stack as well. Yeah, it looks like there's just not room to expand any further. What happened to Gaul? Didn't he have another settler? Did he disband it? I thought he had another settler. Maybe it got captured or something. Oh well. Looks like de Gaulle's out of room to expand. Unless he gets that city in the corner. So he ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cities. He built Toulouse. Where's Toulouse. Okay, duh. That's what I'm missing. He built this one. Gotcha. Sorry, I totally missed that. He actually has room for another city down here in the corner. He put a city on the west coast. You guys spotted it. I'm completely whiffed. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 cities. Okay. A lot of size 1 Ottoman cities, by the way. So now we've got this big conga line heading over here. I will try to keep an eye on the other barb city too. There are 4 archers remaining here. Of course, this barb city is on a hill. Looks like the chariots attacked and just didn't kill anything. Probably should have waited for the other units to get over here to help out instead of sending the chariots in first. So somebody's going to get this. By the way, Mehmed is a settler here too, which is pretty funny. All right, so there's the Code of Laws religion being founded by Louis. By the way, tech pace is moving very fast for some of these. Hannibal on construction. Louis and de Gaulle are also researching quite fast. How about this other barb city? It's did not come under attack, whereas this one did. Oh, that's a nice wonder for Hannibal. And Toko got the pyramids. This is a nice one. How many cities of his are on the coast? 1, 2. Oh, only 2 cities. Okay, I guess that's not that impactful. I thought it would be more impactful, but he doesn't have as many on the coast as I thought. Alrighty. So these archers are still holding out. That's a lot of units. That might be enough to brute force its way in. Let's see. Yep, it was. Just barely. A spear captured it, so just barely enough. Now there's another settler here. So is there an eligible tile to found on? This you can found here. Otherwise there's no eligible tiles to found on. Let's see if it actually ends up going there or not. Yep, it looks like it's going to sell. Okay, so I feel like de Gaulle and Mehmed are going to fight at some point, but I feel like de Gaulle is just so far ahead in comparison. His cities are so much bigger, and like he's already on construction tech. Now he doesn't have ivory, so he can't build elephants. But I mean, I feel like he's just going to outrace Mehmed economically. Interesting. All right. Well, still no wars in this game yet. I mean, it's actually relatively early. How about this city, Burgundian? Someone attacked it and promoted one of the archers to city garrison too. Ah, there we go. Hannibal got it. So Hannibal got a lot of these barb cities. That's definitely a help for him. So we've pretty much seen the whole map get filled up at this point. I think Hannibal did about as well as you could possibly expect in this game. He got this city here. He lost this spot, which would have been big. He would have denied horses to Kublai. But he got 2 barb cities in the middle of the map. So he got about as much as, you could hope for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not bad. Tokugawa is still stuck on 5 or 6 cities. Toku not looking so good here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cities there. I think de Gaulle has 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Mehmed, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So everybody's roughly around 7 or 8 cities, except Kublai is a little far behind. But they're not so like they're not all that close in teching though, and that's kind of the issue. Let's see if anyone's plotting war. Not you. Nope. Everybody seems to like each other more than you'd think. Couldn't betray our close friends. First ever game where first to die is no one. I think Toku is actually the favorite for first to die right now. I mean, if it's just a pure econ game, de Gaulle and Louis are in great shape. because their econs are significantly better than the rest. If you're curious about the research rate, so Hannibal 100 beakers per turn, Kublai 61, Louis 29. Wait, what? What is he doing? 29. I thought his econ was really good. De Gaulle 88. So Hannibal's actually higher than that. I underestimated how good the Hannibal is. Although Hannibal is okay. Well, this is Hannibal's running unsustainable deficit right now. So that's a little bit of an unfair comparison, but still looking good. I think De Gaulle has the overall strongest econ right now. Mehmet, yeah, Mehmet 34. So like this is the problem for Mehmet. His economy is just, and Toku's 25. Yikes! I think Toku is by far the most likely to be first to die out of this group. Anyway, thanks for subscribing, Red Borg. Appreciate it. Top two move on. Top two move on. Financial Alive rides again. Yeah, as I said, Hannibal's doing better than I thought he would in this game. I think he's been a little bit lucky, but not completely lucky. Louis got a profit, so he will build his shrine, and then that's going to be helpful for him. It'll help Christianity. Christianity has spread better than these other religions. So out of the main three religions thus far, so we have Christianity is not spread that far. Got it to a couple cities. Islam needs to spread it to some other. He's been spreading it to Kublai, but of course Kublai won't flip religion because he already has his own religion. And Kublai has spread his religion a little bit. Okay, none of them have spread that far so far. Still have a ways to go. By the way, this city no longer has a flip chance, but it does not control its own first string tiles, as we've seen. De Gaulle early currency, that's good too. So there's that shrine going up for Louis. Let's see how many cities it has spread to thus far. 9, not bad for this early in the game. And this is 10. So they're at about the same pace in terms of spread. They are also very even in score, the two of them. Very close there. All right, Hannibal picked up De Gaulle's religion. Okay. A big turn all of a sudden. Hannibal picking up De Gaulle's religion, strangely on the other side of the map. And then Kublai declaring war. Where's his stack, though? Well, first of all, let's tick up the count. Oh, here's what happened. There was a stack, and then it got moved in and hit by De Gaulle, and so it died. I was like, where's this stack? Because the AI won't declare war like that unless they have a stack, but it just died. Okay. Well, first war of the game. This city looking kind of vulnerable. I don't know if De Gaulle has units available to hit it, but looking kind of vulnerable. Let's see who might jump in on one side or the other. All right, so Mehmed is an important figure here because Mehmed could declare war. He doesn't really like either of them. He's cautious with both. Noteworthy. How about Louis? Louis is another big actor. Louis also doesn't like. Well, he actually likes De Gaulle. He's pleased at -1. What the heck? He's getting that civics benefit. Now, Louis will plot war at please, but it makes it less likely. -1 please. That's ridiculous. Don't be shocked, though, if Louis... I mean, he could go after... Certainly could go after either of these entities, too. Hannibal? Where's Hannibal? Over here. So he doesn't really like Louis. That's kind of interesting. He's pleased at -2 with Kublai, so okay. Pleased at -2. Interesting. Let's look at their relative power between these two. Pretty even overall. Pretty much the same. That said, I think De Gaulle is going to hit the next. Like Kublai, yeah, De Gaulle's pretty far ahead in tech. So De Gaulle's not that far off from getting to like the medieval generation of military tech. Plus, he already has catapults, which Kublai does not. So this, I don't know. Kublai, I mean, he's got his unique unit, so he should probably be okay. But it could be a little bit rough. This also gets De Gaulle to build military units, which is probably not the worst thing. Louis all the way out to 1,000 points in score. Jeez. Yeah, Louis has a lot of border tension with Hannibal. Yep, you're right. Yeah, they have a lot of overlap. Just like there's a lot of overlap with Mehmed, who did found that garbage city on the north coast. So this could very easily turn into a 2v1 against De Gaulle. So just be aware of that. This could be a 2v1 pretty quickly here. I think the better path for De Gaulle would have been if Mehmed had declared war and Kublai had gotten tied up with someone over in the east. Yeah, so far not too much action going on here. Hannibal completed the Hanging Gardens. Nice. Little extra pop, little extra health. So I'm waiting to see. So I guess we should check to see if any of these other leaders are. All right, Louis is plotting war. Who he goes after is pretty important. This is Islamic missionary over here. So I wonder who he's going after. These two are in a war. Hannibal is not. And Mehmed is not. Toku, I guess, is technically in this game, but Toku's the weakest. I thought Mehmed would be the weakest in this game. It's definitely Toku is the weakest entity. So just keep an eye on where's Louis stack forming. If it's at if it's here, Hannibal is probably his target. Or over here, let's keep it. Let's see where he's moving his units. Toku went representation. He built the pyramids, of course. That does mean he won't be in hereditary rule, which is going to be the popular civic du jour. All right, that's a pretty good stack starting to build there. Just needs catapults to take down the defenses. Great General Born from De Gaulle. Okay. Yeah, no catapults I see now. It definitely has construction tech, but I don't see any catapults here. I thought I saw some moving around before, but maybe they died. There's a catapult down here, for example. Does De Gaulle have ivory? I believe he does not. He'd have to trade for. Oh no, never mind. Someone's trading it to him. Okay. Okay, someone's trading it to him. So if he has horseback riding, he can build. He just needs horseback riding to be able. He's skipping metal casting. That's a weird thing to skip. Um, but yeah, he's about to move into the medieval military units. Yeah, Sydney's been barking. He's barking in the background there. So we were trying to see where De Gaulle had his stack. Looks like it's here at Chartres, so that could it's probably targeting Hannibal, but early to say. And that's 100 turns. Interesting start to this game, certainly. Yeah, this stack is not going to do anything unless it can take down the walls. That's just sending units to die. Not the smartest. All right, let's go ahead and check our graphs. So GNP, De Gaulle, Louis, Hannibal, and then the rest of the field are like also Rans. Production, everybody's close except Toku, who's way behind. Food, De Gaulle, Louis, Hannibal. Hannibal third. Wow. I'm surprised that Kublai is that low on the food chart. That's surprising. Power, everybody's pretty close except Japan. Culture, Louis is now taking over as the cultural leader. Yeah, it's pretty tight so far at the top of the scoreboard. Most advanced, De Gaulle, Louis, Hannibal. Same thing we saw before. Yeah, that attack did not do anything. Needed to bring catapults. Did finally bring one over there now. So Mehmed is not plotting war. Louis, I assume, is still plotting war. Yep. Still curious where he might be moving his forces. I suspect that this city Leptis is his target. That'd be my guess. So Kublai also now going for construction tech, but definitely trailing a little bit behind De Gaulle. He's building up a new stack with some catapults in it. I mean, with catapults, this city is. I mean, there's no feudalism for Kublai Khan, so he is not going to have longbows. I mean, no one has feudalism yet, but Kublai's a little ways away from that, so he's mostly just building lots of Kashyyyks. All right, there it is. We were expecting this. So Louis going after Hannibal. Again, largely driven by border tension. So this means that no one else is going to intervene. These two cannot intervene in the De Gaulle versus Kublai war. It does put Mehmed in a very interesting position because Mehmed could jump into either one of these wars and make it a 2v1. He is much more likely to intervene against De Gaulle, though. And in fact, I believe he's already plotting. He looks like he's already plotting war. So this is bad news for De Gaulle, who's almost certainly going to be stuck in a 2v1 here. So good news for Kublai. Definitely good news for Kublai here. And like Mehmed has more power than De Gaulle at the moment. So I think De Gaulle would easily win a 1v1 against Mehmed, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a 1v1. Yeah, Kublai Khan has higher power. Yep, probably because De Gaulle's been building, I don't know, stuff in his cities. Now, does Mehmed have construction tech is the question. No, he doesn't, although he'll probably research it soon. Because if he doesn't have construction, he'd be more likely to just toss stacks into longbows. All right, anyway, let's see what's going on over here. So Louis is presumably going to attack this city, which is just defended by archers. Let's see, can Louis capture this? He redlined it. He's got down to just 2 archers. Gaul just went vassalage. Okay. Wants the extra promotions. So Hannibal reinforcement wasn't enough. Louis takes the first city and builds the mausoleum. Oof, Louis looking good. Louis looking pretty strong here. I would say he is currently the favorite because de Gaulle is likely to be in a 2v1 war pretty shortly here. If Louis can take over Hannibal's land, which is pretty good overall, I'm not sure anyone's going to be able to stop him if that happens. Yeah, not sure anyone will be able to stop him at that point. All right, so he took over the Hannibal city on the border. Hannibal's poor culture made it very easy for that city to get captured. Here comes a Hannibal stack to reinforce, though. Got a group here. And Toku is apparently in a golden age. Are you planning to jump into one of these wars? No. Was that Hannibal's iron? I don't think so. Hannibal has wait. He has a copper over here that's not mined. He has an iron up there. He has an iron from somewhere. There's an iron somewhere that he must be getting. Okay. If Kublai takes over most of Tikal, sure, he'd be in a great spot. I agree. He'd be in a great spot if he could do that. And Tikal's got a pretty good stack there in Marseille. Kind of like both building up stacks over here, but that's a pretty good stack from Kublai. Although I believe he doesn't have construction, so there's no catapults in that stack. Probably would not fare very well attacking that city across the river. All right, and then we have these stacks here, but I think that there might be fighting right here on this border. Who just founded Judaism? All right, so as expected, Mehmed jumps into the war. Where is he looking to attack? So let's take up our war counter. Okay, war number 3. As I said, I think de Gaulle wins 1v1 against these opponents, but it's not going to be a 1v1. So Mehmed's problem is, like, he has to get past longbows in a city on a hill. Where is his main stack? Here? Here? I hope he has more than that. That's pretty sad as far as stacks go. But Louis being in a 1v1 here is really good for him, because I think Hannibal is an easier opponent than potentially some of these other options. So Louis is in good shape to just start taking over some of Hannibal's territory. Mocked Marseille for being on the gold. It's in a perfect border position. That's true, it is. Yeah, it is in a perfect border position. And Kublai just threw his whole stack in and they all died. So whereas de Gaulle didn't suffer any losses at all. So yeah, it is actually in a really strong defensive position. This city up here, a little bit less so. And then Burgundian is, I mean, this city's dead. There's no way this can hold. So Louis is already making pretty substantial gains here. Sorry, we just can't turn our back on them. Somehow this city is still alive with a 0.4 archer. By the way, I never checked where Judaism actually found it. I was curious who actually got that one. Oh, it was de Gaulle. He must have used his great prophet to bulb theology to found that one. Yeah, he did a prophet bulb. I'm still surprised he hasn't gone for metal casting or horseback riding. This is elephants, and then this is forges, which he's industrious. He has cheap forges, so you would think, he would go for that, but nope, not so far. He teched it after feudal. Oh, okay. Then I don't know what he used his. He just teched it. Okay, then I don't know what he used to profit on. Oh wow, there's another big stack there. So Kublai just lost a stack, and he's just got another big stack right behind it. Like, oof. Oh wow, Louis took huge losses there. But I think Louis still gets this city anyway. So Worth, although this might get recaptured by Hannibal. By the way, Toku is still in this game, apparently. So this is an awful lot of units. How many are in this city? This city is not very well defended, and it's not on a hill, and it doesn't have walls. So I think this city is probably toast. Even though de Gaulle's got a big stack up there, it's not going to matter if he doesn't reinforce these cities. Longbows are good, but I don't know if they're kill like 10 units good. Yep. Can't say I didn't expect that to happen. As I said, as we know, the two-front war is just bad for the AI. They struggle with it. You know, Gaulle taking losses. What happened to Kublai? He had a whole stack wiped out. It never even registered on the bar graph. Yeah, De Gaulle's still ahead, but you know, can he? How long can he maintain that? I think his position in this game was really good. It's just the diplomacy has broken against him, somewhat unfortunately. All right, over here, this city got recaptured by Hannibal. Yeah, this city got recaptured by Hannibal. I didn't end up catching it. So Burgundian and Leptis were traded there, but I still think Louis is looking really sharp here. Still this huge stack here that's just standing around doing nothing. Wonder why that's not moving out. Anything going on over here? Nope, Louis building courthouses. Might want to build, or De Gaulle's building them. Might want to build some more units in this situation. Of course, Louis is building wonders as well up there. Looks like the Barb's got bronze working at some point because they have a Barb axeman running around. Great general born by from De Gaulle. Well, this city is no longer being defended very well. De Gaulle moved his stack somewhere. Where is it? Didn't he have a big stack here? Oh, there it is. He's moving it. Presumably he's moving it to get back Rouen, I would think. Yep. Which can't really, let's be fair, can't really be defended. But yeah, again, so this is the two-front war in action because De Gaulle has to defend from both sides. Yeah, he can't really hold out here. So yeah, he's like I think De Gaulle was the single strongest AI on the map. We're very close with Louis, but the two-front war is just carving him up, unfortunately. Unfortunately for my pick. Because I don't think De Gaulle is a bad pick in this game, but the diplomacy unfortunately broke against him. I'm still a little surprised that Kublai didn't get tied up in a war with like I mean, look at the border tension over here, right? Very easily could have ended up fighting in this direction. And then the game's completely different, right? If Kublai just declares war on Hannibal instead of declaring war. But I mean, the war between Mehmed and De Gaulle was baked in. That was going to happen. But I think where Kublai went was like a 50-50. Anyway, so definitely looking up. I cannot believe Mehmed's in third place. His score is his position in this game felt like it was so weak. But he's on the upswing now because he's on the right side of this 2v1 situation. Anyway, De Gaulle recaptured one of his core cities, but as I said, I think his position is just bad unless he can get peace with one of these two leaders. If he can't get peace with one of these two, he's in an awful lot of trouble because there's just so many build queues up against him. And he's not managed to get far enough ahead in tech that he can just 2v1. Unlike Kublai, De Gaulle failed to secure. I don't know that I agree that personally, unless you just mean the plains cows. I think he was working pretty strong tiles. As I said, it's just he's in a 2v1, and sometimes that happens. We know the AI does not do very well in 2v1s. So I'm trying to keep an eye on this war as well. I think Louis... Oh, wait, they signed peace, and Louis gave back the city. Wow. Kind of a strange decision there. He just gave the city back to Hannibal. So it looked like Hannibal might just get rolled up here by Louis, but that did not happen. He actually managed to come out of this war with no losses at all, so that's pretty impressive. Yeah, pretty impressive. Meanwhile, over here, so now we're back to just our one war, and it's a lot of units running around in in De Gaulle territory. A lot of units running around. Excuse me. And with catapults now in play, it's going to be hard for De Gaulle to just like turtle up in these cities. So Louis continues building. I mean, machinery is not bad by any means, but De Gaulle needs to get peace with one of these two. He probably gets ground down and dies if he doesn't get peace with one of these two opponents in the near future. And this also just makes it easier for Louis to just like take over. By the way, look at all these promotions on Kublai's units. So strange behavior from Kublai Khan, or from Louis, excuse me. But yeah, that's a lot of Kublai units, just like an awful lot of Kublai units running around. And then Mehmed's got a big stack too. Yeah, it's just we've seen this happen. The AIs get overwhelmed in a 2v1 scenario. De Gaulle's defense has not been terrible, but like Mehmed and Kublai are both actually number one in power, kind of tied. So they're going to continue taking him apart unless he gets a peace treaty. And I don't think he's going to get one. So the other thing he needs is he needs someone to attack one of these AIs from the other side. But I don't know if he's going to get that either. Hannibal would probably be the most likely one to do that. Louis, I guess, could technically attack Mehmed, but Mehmed having Louis' religion means he's less likely to do that. Actually, no, that's not going to happen. He's friendly, so that's not going to happen at all. So Louis, unless Louis attacks like Kublai Khan or something, it's not going to happen. So it turns out that Mehmed getting the religion from Louis has been one of the biggest events in this game. Because if Mehmed had picked up de Gaulle's religion, he would have been pleased with him and he would not have fought him. And in fact, he probably would be looking to fight Louis instead. So just like the little cross icon next to Mehmed has been one of the most important things in this game that's happened. Is Toku doing something? I mean, I guess he's plotting war, which would have to be against Hannibal. Probably good news for Hannibal. It might give him a chance to take over more territory. Who does he not like? He doesn't like de Gaulle. I believe Toku can declare war at please, though. I can't imagine he'd walk completely across the map to go attack de Gaulle, but I guess it's possible. This city, Marseille, is probably dead, and that's the beginning of the end for de Gaulle once this city falls. Yeah, there's no way this city can hold out against all of these units. And that's the beginning of the end for de Gaulle, who, by the way, I still think was a good pick for first in this game, even though it does not look like that's going to happen. I stand by that pick, even though it does not look like it's happening. In fact, it looks like he's going to be first to die, but I mean, he was leading the game in score, and it wasn't one of those false lead the games in score like when, like if Gandhi's leading the game in score early, and it's like, oh, well, you know he's going to get roughed up on. Does Toku have open borders with anyone? Probably not. Actually, yes, he has them with everyone except de Gaulle. So, yeah, if a Kublai war declaration goes in the opposite direction, de Gaulle's one of the favorites to win. But instead, it looks like he might be first to die. Or if the religion from, or if de Gaulle's religion had spread north, because he was definitely teching faster than anyone else in this game. But in the meantime, we're just continuing to watch him kind of get taken apart here. Somehow Mehmed is now second in score. Raise your hand if you had Mehmed to be second in score. Because he's picked up all the spoils of this war so far. Mehmed could start to emerge as a competitor if he gets most of de Gaulle's territory. That would certainly be unexpected. So to anyone who would say Mehmed's starting position was so bad I should have re-rolled the map, all I can say is sometimes weird stuff happens. Anyway, so as far as elsewhere, just to check in on the other leaders. So Louis is plotting war, and he can't declare war on the friendly targets. So he's probably plotting with Kublai because he can't declare war on Hannibal. So he's probably about to come crashing in here in a little bit. That, right? Because he can't declare war on de Gaulle. Well, I guess he could declare war on de Gaulle. He can't declare war on Hannibal. But it's more likely he's plotting with Kublai. So that could be interesting. Just keep an eye on that too. Well, whoever finishes first and second goes to the championship. It's the next game, next round after this one. And Mehmed has won the championship before. He's the Season 5 champion. He just triggered a Golden Age too. Got all those elephants running around. So for the time being, we'll just continue watching this war. De Gaulle's defense has actually been decent thus far, considering how many units have been up against him. But he is just getting kind of taken apart over time. Just too many units, too many build queues that he has to contend with. He almost took back Marseille this turn. I wonder if he takes this back, if he can get someone to sue for peace. I mean, it's unlikely, but... yeah, he actually took the city back. Wow. Was not expecting that. Alright, so we were expecting this. Toku to declare on Hannibal. So that's another war. We're getting a few more wars than I was expecting. It looks like my war account's going to be a little short here. Doesn't feel like Mehmed's going to be first to die at this point, I have to say. I think Toku is first to die. Most likely. It could be Degol, though. All right, well, Toku's going to make his move. He's going to come in here. There's a pretty good stack here. He does have catapults. Can he get like the initial sucker punch capture against against Hannibal over here? Louis is about to found another religion because he's going to be the first to philosophy. So keep an eye on that. Yeah, so there's a siege going here. This city's probably going to get captured. Is definitely going to get captured. But let's see if Toku's attack can work here. Hannibal's stack is over here. Hannibal, bring the stack over to this city if you want to defend. All right, there he goes. Now he's starting to respond. This city's probably going to get captured first, though. Let's watch this. Louis has finished a great... Yeah, Louis is starting to pull ahead of the field because he's staying out of wars while everybody else is fighting. So this city is going to get captured. There's no way this city can hold. And then let's see what happens over here. All right, they both got captured. Toku on the march. Of course, Hannibal's got his own units that can counter here. Louis was plotting. Is he still thinking about war? He should probably just stay out of the wars and let everybody attack each other. Still, oh wait, here he is. He's on the move. Looks like it looks like Kublai is probably the target here. If I had to guess. Interesting. And then here comes Hannibal with his own force. Still, all this just feels like Louis is definitely benefiting. Mehmed's actually taken enough now that I don't think Degol can beat him 1v1. All right, well, I think we're going to see another war declaration here. I don't think that Kublai is a good target for Louis to go after, by the way. This game really feels like it's all over the place, though. I think Louis is like out in front a little bit, but it's still like anybody's game. Still think there's a lot of leaders that could win this. All right, so here comes now Louis' stack. Except Toku. Toku can't win this. Toku is not in a good position. So we still have a couple more forces running around in here. And Mehmed's going to get his own force ready soon. Pikes for Degol probably will help a lot because most of the units he's fighting are elephants and Kashyyyks. This should draw a little pressure off of Degol, but he's taken such a beating, it's hard to say. Hard to see him recovering from this, especially with Louis being... Louis is pretty far ahead of the rest of the field. So, I mean, there's like twists and turns still to go, but Louis is kind of pulled ahead of the field, and he is not in a two-front war, so that's good for him. So he's going to go for this city. Might just be able to snipe it. Yep. So definitely a blow to Kublai. Again, the question is, would Kublai want to sign a peace treaty with Degol? Ligurian, where was that? Oh, that was up here in this corner. Yeah, Degol's just taken such a beating from this double war. I don't really see how he recovers. He might not die, but I don't think he can really... I don't know. He's down to not many cities left. Turn off the culture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. He might be able to get this one back. It's not being defended very well, but it's just taken such a beating. Yeah, the Japan-Carthage War, sure. Hannibal letting one of his cities get picked off by Toku is not exactly great. And Tokugawa got Statue of Zeus, yes. Confirming his role as the troll of this game. Yeah, Degol's now last in power. Not good for him. Mehmed is first in power. What is going on here? Mehmed on the march. Again, if Mehmed takes over all of Degol's territory, which seems like he's going to get it now because Kublai's going to have to defend. I mean, the Ottomans would be in a really strong position because there's so many floodplains cottages down here. Hannibal is way ahead of Toku. Well, Toku is pretty weak. Toku managed to snipe that city, but Hannibal is definitely the stronger of the two AIs. Like, Hannibal's a lot larger in size and territory. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Kublai is still on the offensive over here. I don't know if he should be trying to attack while Louis is already moving on the next city now. Does he have catapults in that stack? No, I don't think he does. But I mean, that's the capital city right there. Just threw a lot of catapults at the Louis stack. So it turned around and headed back to heal, but it did kill a bunch of catapults. All right, looks like the Kublai forces attacked and didn't make it through over here. But there's another Kublai stack over there. Meanwhile, up here, the Ottomans are on the march again, and this city's not very well defended. Just 2 longbows and a pike. Yeah, they're getting ready. I mean, Mehmed it's really shocking how Mehmed's been pulling this off. Looks like the Mehmed-Louis duo in this game from what I can see. All right, over here, I was trying to check in on this war. So this city, it looks like the Toku stack got wiped out. Yeah, it looks like Toku lost most of his units. Toku's still running around with chariots, which is not exactly what you want. And Hannibal was able to retake the city he lost. Okay. So Hannibal's starting to emerge. It's like Louis, Hannibal, Mehmed are feeling like they're some of the competitors right now. I'm less certain about Kublai at this point. But Louis is definitely the favorite from this position. Louis is definitely the favorite. Mehmed being in a position to do anything is kind of wild. I picked him first to die because I thought his starting position was so weak. But he's really played his cards well. And he should be able to capture this city too. A lot of great generals being born. All right, so new stack now for Louis over here. Took as a mini stack. Hannibal stack is healing. Looks like that city Toulouse is going to fall any second now. By the way, both Marseille, I was going to say Marseille's been captured and recaptured. Rouen was captured, recaptured, recaptured, recaptured again. I think it's changed hands like 5 different times. And all right, that stack's still moving forward over there. Yep. Mehmed still on the rise. Like I said, if he gets all of de Gaulle's territory, now he's gotten kind of the edges, but the juiciest prizes are really these 4 cities: Marseille, Lyon, Orleans, and Bayonne. Very, very juicy prizes. All right, anyway, Louis, of course, is trying to take the Mongolian capital now down here. I mean, that would pretty much break the back of Kublai if that happened. So Kublai is bringing his stack back to try to stop that. Meanwhile, Hannibal is starting to go on the offensive too. Hannibal seems likely to be able to take over some of Toku's territory. And we're 150 turns into the game. So yeah, we've got this force marching forward. And Orleans is not that well defended. Yeah, I think I'm really liking Mehmed here. And Hannibal, the possibility of taking over Toku's territory is starting to get spicy too. Hannibal's gotten pretty lucky, I think, in terms of how the war declarations have played out too. Well, I mean, he did fight the war with Louis, but it was basically a miracle that he got out of that war with Louis without losing any territory. I mean, he did lose a city, but then he got it back in the peace treaty for no clear reason. So yeah, Hannibal Mehmed, surprised, definitely surprised. Again, I think that this game is just very unpredictable. I do think that when we do alternate histories for this one, it's going to be all over the place. Okay, so Louis is clearly leading in GMP. A lot of that is culture, to be fair. Production, okay. Food, number 1 in that. Yeah, look at de Gaulle's slide. Just getting crushed here. Power, Mehmed is first in power. That's pretty wild. Kublai is not doing great. And then culture. Louis got an awful lot of culture. Hannibal's picking up guilds, so he might be able to increase the pace of his conquest soon. All right. That city down to just 2%. About the only thing you can say is Toku's doing poorly. Yeah, I did think about Toku being first to die, but I just thought that all his promotions would make it harder for him to be first to die. Does not seem like that's going to be. I don't know. It's actually it might be a race between Toku and De Gaulle for first to die potentially. Oh, and okay, Kublai signs a peace treaty with Louis. Okay, right when his capital looked like it might have gotten conquered. Remember, Kublai is still at war with De Gaulle, so those units over here can now turn around and march back. I think Toku first to die is a good bet. I agree. I do think that that's a good bet for the alternate histories. This city has a castle, yeah. It's going to take a while. Even with 5 catapults, it's going to take ages. Castles just take forever to get through the defenses. What's he bombarding for, like 10% per turn? Something like that. Should have watched this. This city got captured. Nara, over there. Yeah, 10% per turn. Need trebuchets to be able to speed that up. Yeah, so Hannibal picked up a city. It could end up being like Louis is the one who, well, so here's the thing. Louis is clearly in first right now. The thing is, though, Hannibal and Mehmed have the potential to add more territory, whereas Louis is not going to be gaining territory. He's going to be stationary on what he already has right now. Whereas, like, Hannibal and Mehmed could gain more cities. Maybe. They haven't done it yet, but they might be able to. Kublai, I feel like, has taken enough damage that he's. I don't know if he's still a serious candidate to be like in competition to win. Oh, and Kublai and De Gaulle, okay, and gave away. So now it is just a 1v1, but Mehmed is now quite a bit stronger than De Gaulle. So, like, if they had signed peace, 30 turns ago, 40 turns ago, that would have been bad for Mehmed. But now it's actually good for Mehmed because I'm pretty sure he can finish the conquest. There's only 4 cities remaining here. He didn't get Marseille, which is one of the very valuable prizes, but like all this stuff in here would be really good for him if he could get it. So Kublai does get a reprieve. He's actually out of war entirely, right? Yeah. He's completely out of the warring business. Here comes De Gaulle's stack, but there's not much of a stack. And all right, Hannibal also has started a siege, but that's going to take forever against the Satsuma. I guess he's taking out like 10% per turn. So we'll check back in there in a few turns. All right, so the two that are no longer in wars, are Louis and Kublai Khan. So they can potentially plot war if they want, and Kublai is plotting war. So who is he going to war with? Is it Hannibal? It might be Hannibal. He doesn't like Hannibal very much, does he? It's probably Hannibal. So that's an issue. That could drag Hannibal back into the pack and open up the Mehmed possibility. No, I don't know. Could open up more for Mehmed, though. Yeah, Louis, he built Versailles. Yep, I know. I know. Real life parallels, yes. Sun King building Versailles. Louis first place on Alphabet. Yeah, Louis' tech is a little bit worse than I thought. For whatever reason, his teching isn't that great. But Louis hitting Hannibal would be pretty bad when Hannibal's army is off here in Japanese territory. So would also mean that Toku is less likely to be first to die. All right, so De Gaulle just lost his capital. I think he's definitely the favorite now for first to die. He only has 3 cities left. And I suspect that Louis, I mean, if Louis weren't going to attack Hannibal, it would be different, but I'm pretty sure he is. So still chipping away at this city over here. Where's Louis have his units? All right, his stack is building here. So I don't know what that means in terms of who he's targeting. Oh, it means he's targeting Hannibal, because Hannibal's right there. Yeah, they're running in circles, but I'm pretty sure he's going to target Hannibal. Well, so Link Marisama said either De Gaulle sucks or Mehmed is a beast. It's not, I mean, I don't think it's that complicated. It's the AI really struggles in a 2v1, and it was a 2v1. The diplomacy just didn't break De Gaulle's way. Sometimes it happens that way. I think he wins the 1v1 against either of the other opponents, but, didn't break that way. Or if he had been able to convert Mehmed to his religion, that would have, I think, swung things too, but he didn't manage to do that. Okay, so I moved away just in time to see this city get captured. Cool. So Toku also does not have many cities left. So those of you who have Toku first to die, he's only got 4 cities or 5 cities remaining. And Hannibal taking all of them would definitely be a big boost in the arm for him. Right now, both sides are kind of walking stacks forward to the next target. So this is one stack here. There's another smaller stack here. I think Lyon is going to be the main target, though. I mean, this has the Islamic shrine in it. I wonder if Mehmed would flip religion into that. How invested is he in Christianity? Okay, all of his cities are Christian, so it's a little less likely, but maybe he would flip into that long term. The AI does like to run religions when they have the shrine for it, or they're much more likely to flip into religions where they have the shrine. All right, Louis, still plotting war, presumably. Still plotting war. Did you miss Toku getting Nara back? I don't think he ever lost that city. I could be wrong, but I didn't think he lost that one. How about Kublai? Is he? No, Kublai's not plotting war, and that's probably the right decision for him. He needs a chance to recover. So this stack looks like it got hit by catapults. So we're just kind of chilling here, waiting for these, waiting to see if Louis is going to start his potential war. If nothing else happens, then it's a race to see whether De Gaulle or what's his name, Tokugawa die first. He did lose Nara at some point. Okay, I must have missed that. I guess he got it back. Now, does the city have castle? No, it actually doesn't even have walls. No walls, no castle. Okay, well, that means the defenses are going to drop very quickly for the trebuchets. By the way, De Gaulle is still ahead in tech. All right, that's the war we were waiting for. We're expecting that to happen. So these are, two of the top leaders on the scoreboard. Certainly would be good for Louis if he can. That's war number 6. Yeah, it's probably should have gone a little higher on the war counter. I mean, Hannibal is one of the leaders that's really threatening Louis if he can eliminate this potential competitor. Could be looking at Louis 1, Mehmed 2, which would be bad for me because I kind of wanted Louis second. I'm holding out hope that maybe Mehmed can win, but I think Louis is pretty much in the driver's seat right now. Anyway, so that's a big capture there for Mehmed. Maybe Hannibal fights into a stalemate, and then Louis accelerates, and then Mehmed accelerates ahead off the captured territory, something like that. Probably not. All right, so that goes down. This is probably going to end the realistic chance of Toku being first to die. Now, Hannibal's stack is over here, trying to siege up Nara. So let's see if he can take that city. I mean, he's going to get that city, but his army is now badly out of position to deal with Louis. So not great for Hannibal. That was De Gaulle's second capital. Yep, it keeps moving around. So looks like it's going to take a turn or two. Mehmed finally has knights, so he'll be reconfiguring his stack and going from there. Meanwhile, here's Louis' stack. Where's this one going? Are you going to attack a city, Louis? I mean, Burgundian was like, you literally control some of the first string tiles of Burgundian, so you would think you'd be able to take that without too much trouble, in theory anyway. 8 catapults. Does the city have walls? No. So that should be a relatively easy target. Down the walls go. City probably follows on the next turn. Man, Hannibal has been a golden age. So it looks like he killed the Toku stack over here. Toku just having 5 cities left. And now we've got a Mehmed force moving forward. Only 1 catapult, 1 trebuchet. Better hope the city doesn't build walls. But so far, no. The only other one to check in then is Kublai Khan. No. Is Hannibal going rifling? I mean, it's not going to matter at this point. He might be. Yes, he is. Okay, so I guess it does matter. Yeah, rifles could be a big deal. Certainly should be able to hold his territory if he has rifles and everybody else has medieval garbage. But he is going to lose that city. So that's a blow, right? If he loses these 2, definitely needs to try to. Would be good to just get out of this war and get into peace to build up a rifle force. So how many cities does Hannibal have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not bad, but losing this one would be not great. And again, it doesn't control its first string tiles, so it's going to be hard to defend that one. Plus, there's still Toku who will build up another stack and try to retake Nara. which is not well defended, so there's a good chance that'll get recaptured. Anyway, over here, we're seeing De Gaulle. So it looks like De Gaulle is probably going to be first to die. Now, if you had said, like, before the season, De Gaulle's first to die, I'd be like, well, of course he is. He's De Gaulle. But I don't think he played badly in this game at all. I will continue to defend the De Gaulle pick. I think it's much more likely that De Gaulle conquers Mehmed than Mehmed conquers De Gaulle. I mean, you saw how strong the territory was. So. Mehmed the Merciless, yeah. I mean, but Mehmed is a real competitor now because he's capturing some tremendously powerful territory. His economy is really going to take off after this, especially if like Louis and Hannibal are in a fight to the death. Like if they stalemate that war at all, Mehmed could be in a fantastic position here. I mean, look at Kublai Khan. He's researching Compass. Kublai is really behind. I guess he's going to get a shrine. So that'll help his econ a little bit. 21. His religion spread pretty well. Yeah, Mehmed's territory was awful. Absolutely awful. So it's very impressive that he's in this position. That said, I wouldn't count on him being able to do this too frequently. I think the cards just all lined up perfectly in this game. All right, Hannibal, how quickly can he get to rifles? He's going to have this city attacked here. Can he stall long enough to get rifles out? Well, Nara got recaptured. It looks like this attack just went in without taking down the defenses. City held with one knight with 0.3 health left, so not much. And there's no siege in this stack, so this is probably just it for De Gaulle here. I think this force just immediately attacks. If not, there's Trebuchets a turn behind, but yeah, that's it. So De Gaulle first to die. I don't think he was that popular of a first to die pick, but some people did have it. I actually don't think he was a particularly good first to die pick because he was such a strong leader. But hey, it ended up happening. So kudos to those who called it. All right, De Gaulle's out. Turn 178. Rest in peace, my pick. Let's see if we can get that. So we'll swap this over. Okay. So first of all, De Gaulle's the first one out. Goodbye, my friend. I actually think De Gaulle's a terrible AI, but I loved his start in this game. All right, so he's out. Mehmed gets the kill, first kill of the season for him. And De Gaulle. Okay, so this is turn 178. Okay. 178. Okay. Here we go. De Gaulle. Playoff 2, turn 178. Okay. Got it down. I think we marked everything right. Yeah. Should have all the data preserved. If I screwed it up, someone in chat should be telling me. So in terms of our scoring, so first eliminated is De Gaulle. Let's see how many people had it. Some people did. 85. That's not a lot. Only 17 out of like 250 people, so that's pretty low. That's like 7% or something like that. Fantasy purposes, so De Gaulle is out. So that's 2 points for Amika. And then, yeah, he actually scored all of the points because Mehmed got the point there. It also has Louis and Mehmed, who probably are the favorites for 1-2 in this game. Not too shabby. Of course, we still got to keep an eye on that, but not bad. Not bad. I think you'd like that position there over, say, having Kublai Khan, that sort of thing. Please refer to him by his proper title, Season 5 Champion Mehmed II. All right, so now we can put our focus back here on this conflict, the Hannibal War, with Louis and with Tokugawa. Looks like Louis stopped to siege up. He has 1 catapult, so that's good news for Hannibal. He probably will be able to get rifles by the time this formal attack comes in. So this city, Nara, was captured, but I can't say the same for Leptis over there. So Hannibal will be able to keep his core intact for the moment. We'll see if rifles are enough to hold that off. Now, elsewhere, Kublai Khan, not plotting war. How about Mehmed? Not plotting war. Remember, Mehmed will not declare war at pleased. So currently, Hannibal is the only one he could declare war on, and he has no border tension with Hannibal. So I can't say he's too much inclined for that. I wouldn't be shocked if Mehmed just goes on a big building spree here. Like, he just took over all this territory, so there's a lot of rebuilding for him to do, and he has no border to. He can't declare war on his other neighbors. So I don't know. I mean, he's building all lots of units, but so it shows what I know. But maybe Kublai does not seem inclined to declare war right now either. And Louis just built Taj Mahal, so he just got a golden age off that. Does he have the mausoleum? I can't remember. I believe he does. Just trying to click down here. Mausoleum. Yep. Well, it says France, which is not helpful. Well, I guess it is helpful. There's only one France. I was going to say there's double Frances, but there's not double Frances anymore. There's no longer double Frances in this game. It is helpful one is dead. Anyway, so the fighting, there's continued fighting right here, but Hannibal's only 4 turns from rifling, so it looks like he's going to stabilize. I don't think maces are going to do very well against rifles, so I don't think Hannibal's going to lose any more cities. Even though, like, it looked for a minute there like he might get rolled over, and I think if I think if Louis had been a little more aggressive, he might have been able to capture this. But because he stopped and waited, by the time he captures this or attacks the city, it's probably going to have rifles. Actually, definitely will. He's only chipping away at the castle walls. Good question. We should look at the power situation. Well, Mehmed is number 1 by a lot. Hannibal took some brutal losses, but it was kind of a bloodbath, honestly. Both sides took heavy losses. Still, Mehmed is now well out in front, and now maybe he's going to do the great building spree. I mean, this territory is just gorgeous over here. Well, it does look like he tore up some of the cottages and replaced with farms. Like, why would you farm this tile? I don't quite understand the purpose of doing this, but he still did capture an awful lot of cottages. Although he didn't get this river. This went to Kublai Khan. Anyway, so continue to watch the warring over here. Yeah, that was some heavy, violent trading on both sides, to be sure. Now Mehmed looks like he's going for rifling tech, too. Possibly. At least he's going for printing press. And Louis just picked up military tradition. I don't remember if he has gunpowder or not. All right, so for the time being, this is where it continues. Toku is still in this game. It's still a competitor. But we might as well keep the focus over here as long as this is where all the fighting is. Up, there goes Toku. In come the Japanese knights. All 3 of them. All right, well, Leptis lost its defenses. That said, now it's packed full of rifles. So I don't know, Maceman against rifles. Not sure if that's going to work. City is on flat ground. It's not on a hill. The Cuirassiers do reasonably well against rifles. So let's just see what happens here. Well, it looks like that was enough. The rifles are all dead. Well, 2 out of 3 are dead. All but 2 are dead. So I think Louis had enough to force his way through here. Also, Louis looks like he's on potential rifles as well. Yeah, Louis on rifling too. Mehmed is not. Mehmed detoured to Constitution, so he's not. All right, so Hannibal loses that city, and that's kind of a bad sign for him. That was a good place to make a stand, and he wasn't able to do it. So he only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He only has 6 cities left. That's probably not enough to keep pace with Louis, unfortunately. Yeah, Mehmed, geez. Where is Mehmed? So again, the only one he'll declare war on is Hannibal. Because I was wondering if he would go after Kublai Khan. But no, the mutual military struggle bonus is really, really improving their relations. So that's not going to happen. Yeah, it looks like Hannibal might be running out of gas, as we were saying. Just not sure if he has enough territory. And he does take the liberalism prize. And yes, Louis is on rifling as well. So he took astronomy. What did he take? He already had rifling, so I guess he took chemistry. Kind of an odd tech to take. Not one that's going to help him. Is Kublai plotting war? No, he's not. Just as Mehmed is not. Mehmed, of course, we know can only attack Hannibal. So kind of quiet, even though there is this war going on. It's relatively quiet for the time being. All right, Kublai Khan Golden Age as Louis ends. Tokugawa is running around with knights. Toku is so weak in this game. Toku is probably the best pick for first to die just because he ended up being so weak. Hannibal is not a terrible pick. I think Hannibal could have been. Oh, Hannibal made peace with. Oh, with Toku. Okay. Well, at least that does let him focus on just the one war. I think Hannibal is a very likely first to die as well. If Kublai Khan had gone east instead of west, Hannibal probably would have been first to die in this game. So now he can just focus on holding out against Louis. When people are cheering on Mehmed, does everybody just go meh, 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 meh? I don't know. That sounds like one of the things our little guy William would say. Meh, meh, meh. He says things like that. If Hannibal can build rifles, why is he sometimes building pikes? It's a good question. I don't know why the AI can do that, but they do. They like to build them. Oh, hold on. What's this? Where are these Mehmed units going? Are you plotting war, buddy? No. So I don't know where you're going. And yes, Louis has rifling now, so he'll be able to upgrade his units to rifles and also run around, replace his cuirassiers with cavalry as he heads towards scientific method. So if Louis can get all of Hannibal's territory, that would certainly be very nice. Certainly could snowball ahead on that. Yeah, Link Mario Samus, I think, is the answer. They don't go fully obsolete until you have both rifles and grenadiers. There's still a build option, apparently, even though there's very little reason to build a pike when you can build a rifle. Even with pikes being the specific anti-horse unit, rifles are also anti-horse units too. And the fact that they have more than double the base strength means they're vastly superior. All right, well, it's turn 200. We got through a couple turns pretty quickly there. So Kublai's Golden Age. Okay, hopefully everybody's out of a Golden Age for these graphs. All right, yeah, Louis is still the GMP leader, but I do think a lot of that's culture. I'm curious what the research rates are. Production. Some of that was Golden Age. Food. Mehmed's taken over as leader in food. Still the leader in power. Look at the big rifling jump there. Culture. Okay. So as far as everybody's research rate, Hannibal is on 597. Look at that. His total expenses are only 45. The AI gets a lot of cheats. Kublai 424. Louis 530. Mehmed's, oh wow. Wow, 700. Jeez. Okay. And 357. All right. Well, Mehmed is the research leader right now. Wow. I was not expecting him to be that far ahead, but I guess he did capture some very good territory. Mehmed spaceship, Louis II. Let's go. No one will have that. Mehmed spaceship victory. Hannibal just to delay the warring over here. All right. So yeah, we've got rifles on both sides here. Interesting. Is this city on a hill? No, it's not. Can Hannibal hold here? Looks like he can. Looks like Louis is not just going to roll right through him. Because this stack got shredded, and the rifles on this side are still standing. All right, well, congrats on bronze working, yeah. All right. Yeah, the Observer Civ discovered bronze working. If you haven't seen it before, we always get it on turn 202. All right. Yeah, if this were stalemates, I'm starting to think Mehmed might actually have a chance to win if this were stalemates. Because Louis would not be able to just accelerate. And he might actually lose Leptis back to Hannibal against. Oh, I actually thought the units were still moving. Because now there's the potential for maybe a bit of a counter. Actually, no, the counterattack's over here. It's got a little stack trying to trebuchet away at Burgundian. Took out the defenses. Can this actually get recaptured? It's not very well defended. Yeah, it's stalemates until Mehmed jumps in with tanks and infantry versus rifles. That is also a possibility. Yeah, Mehmed was a little bit behind, so that attack did not succeed. Mehmed was behind earlier, but he's definitely caught up now because he's been able to just go full econ while these other AIs are having to fight. Did he put any cities on build research? No, he's still building infrastructure. All right, Hannibal signed peace. And no cities were given back, but they're at peace now. Hannibal did not. I mean, Hannibal didn't die. That's the big thing. Is he survived? Anyway, Kublai is not plotting war. Mehmed is not plotting war. Japan not plotting war. Okay. Kublai sort of catching up in score, to some extent. To some extent. But he's using build research. So we actually have a world completely at peace for the time being. It's actually kind of surprising that the map is this evenly split. It's a little unusual to have that happen. So we'll just next turn until the next war begins, whenever that might be. In terms of relations, Hannibal really hates Louis. Louis declared war on him twice, apparently. So that is not going to die down. Those two are going to continue going at it. Kublai kind of likes everybody. That's why he won't declare on Hannibal, but he kind of likes everybody. Louis kind of likes everybody now too. Um, Tokugawa doesn't like Hannibal very much. Hannibal is a rather unpopular guy because of his excuse me, because of his Islam. He would certainly be in a better shape if he swapped to a different religion. But for the time being, everybody just kind of chilling. Yep, just kind of looking over here. A lot of universities going up for Mehmed, I noticed. Toko adopting free market, for all of his trade routes, right? Mehmed skipped the replaceable parts rifling for the time being. Hannibal went free religion. That actually improves his relations because he loses the different religion penalty. Yeah. Now Mehmed actually can't declare war on anyone because he likes everybody. Kublai can only declare on Louis or Mehmed, and Hannibal just hates Louis. So this might be a relatively peaceful game. I know we've said that a couple times, but it actually might not be that common for the AIs to fight each other because they are all the same piece weight and half of them don't declare war at pleased. It's Hannibal won't declare war at pleased and Mehmed won't declare at pleased. Louis wait, did he just go free religion as well? I think he did, or he was already in it perhaps. Didn't really change the number, so I guess he was already in free religion. Mehmed is finally getting rifling. He grabbed all the econ stuff first, which can be dangerous normally, but it doesn't look like it ended up punishing him here. So he's been in it for a while. Okay, thanks guys. Louis is going to declare war on Hannibal? Maybe. I'm going to just check to see if anyone's plotting. What's this? Toku signs defensive pact with Kublai Khan. Oh, that could be a poison pill for somebody. Yeah, he's not plotting war. So if anyone declares war on Toku right now, they pull Kublai in as well. Interesting. Or if on Kublai Khan, they pull in Toku, but that's less relevant. All right, well, the smallest and weakest leader is going to go back to war, and then that'll cancel the defensive pact. Yeah, no one's at war right now. That's why we're next turning pretty quickly. Just keeping an eye on what everybody's researching. We can at least do the turns quickly. And there it is, Mehmed flipped into the religion that he had his shrine city. So that will flip things a little bit. Now he's only cautious with Toku. Yeah, that's a little bit different. It also means he's now pleased with Hannibal, so the only one he would attack would be Tokugawa. Well, I do have a low war counter, so I guess, having peace is not terrible for me. Like having these extra turns of peace. Nope, not signing this. Again, you'd think with such a violent group you'd have more wars, but they're all low peace weight and a lot of them declare war pleased, so. Uni suffrage, emancipation, blah, blah, blah. Mercantilism. I don't think that mercantilism is even that good. And he went free religion too. Why did he just convert to Islam if he was going to go free religion on 5 turns? Kind of a weird decision. We actually had to eat a 2-turn anarchy for that. Ouch. 2-turn anarchy just to do that swap. How's Louis' culture? It's actually coming along pretty well. Avignon is his third city at the moment. He's on pace for like 100 more turns, and that's not with running the slider. We'll see if he goes for it. He has Sistine, so that's definitely a big help in terms of getting to a cultural victory. That said, I don't think he can make it through the rest of this game without at least some more conflict with Hannibal. Hannibal really dislikes him. Sorry if this is not as exciting as some of our other games, just in like this big lull right now. Louis getting Statue of Liberty is really nice, though. Remember, he has Sistine, so he gets extra culture from all of his specialists. Plus, one free specialist is basically mercantilism, civic for free, which is, pretty good stuff. It would be really interesting if someone builds the UN. United Nations could cause some wacky stuff in this game. Well, Toku's back for another round. I don't think that was a good decision. All right, 7 wars. One more and then that's it, okay? I think Hannibal is much stronger than than Tokugawa here. So I expect this to not go well for Japan. He's attacking into rifles, which feels like a bad idea. This might be the end for old Toku here. Here's a stack, but I expect that to get wiped as soon as Hannibal can put his own stack together. So this could be good for Hannibal, give him an additional however many cities Toku has. Make him stronger for the eventual coming showdown with Louis again. So far, though, no cities captured on either side. Which is funny because I would have assumed Nara would just fall right away. Hannibal builds the Kremlin. Okay. Kublai is just now going for replaceable parts. All right, well, there's a Japan little force. Where is Hannibal's force? He must have had some units ready to attack, right? I don't know. Who has all the holy? Does Louis have enough holy cities to go culture? He's borderline. So he has the Taoist holy city. He has the Confucian holy city. That's 2. He doesn't have this one. He does have this one, so that's 3. He doesn't have this one. He does, so 4. He has 4 of them, 4 out of 7. That's a pretty good number. Yeah, Louis is on radio if he does want to go culture. That's true. If he does want to go culture, he probably would go to plastics and then start running the slider. But does introduce at least a little danger, because if his tech stops advancing, then someone, probably Hannibal, might have a chance to take a shot at him. All right, let's just check in and see if anyone's plotting war. So he is plotting war. Apparently he wants to go back for another round. Oh! Kublai declaring on Mehmed. Okay. Surprising. Wasn't expecting that. That is not what I was expecting. I thought that they were pleased. I guess Kublai can declare it pleased, though. All right, now was this a good decision by Kublai Khan? Probably not. He's quite a ways behind. Quite a ways behind. Oh man, look at Hannibal. I didn't realize Hannibal was this weak. So that's why he's been struggling to take over Tokugawa. He's actually no stronger than Toku. Okay. There are 40 units. Stack of 35 units against a stack of 40 units. Who moves first in between these two? Kublai Khan moves first. Okay, well, that didn't go very well for. Oh, here. Okay, I was like, did that whole stack get wiped? But apparently they're up here. Still, I don't think this went very well at all for Kublai. He attacked just before discovering rifling, which is usually not the best decision. He's stopping to bombard, so that stack is probably going to get shredded. Yes. That stack was shredded. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, Mehmed takes the score lead, you guys. So Hannibal made, wow, Toku was still surviving somehow. Gave up a city for peace, but still hanging in there. So is Louis gonna come back here and plot? All right, so Louis is gonna come back after Hannibal. Sure looks like it. But in the meantime, we have this war to watch right here. And it's not going well for Kublai so far. He just took, I think he had 2 disastrous losses, and he was already behind in power before that. Like, he's about to get rifling, but, it's going to take him a little time to get rifles deployed, and I feel like he might lose it. Yeah, oh my god, that's like the shark fin to end all shark fins. Holy cow. He just plummeted off a cliff. Wow. Oh my god, that's like too steep even to be a shark fin. He lost like his entire army. Did Louis just turn on the slider? Good question. No, it looks like he's in anarchy. Good question. He could have turned on the slider though, but no, he's in anarchy for this turn. Oh my god. Jeez. I saw he had a stack that had like 50 units in it, and then like they were just dead in between turns. So yeah, I'm not sure he'd come back from that. Well, he's also in anarchy. I was gonna say what's his war weariness situation like? It can't be good after that. Oh man. Well, Mehmed, yeah, Mehmed looking pretty good here. So I guess his war awareness didn't tick up yet. The AI does get a lot of cheats in that regard. That said, I feel like at least Turfin and Ruel are probably dead here. And this is the only war right now, right? We don't have any. We don't have another conflict. Yep. Well, that was fast. That was pretty fast. Um, what's the situation between these two? So Mehmed has 142 units, I think. Kublai has 48. Yeah. Okay. Outnumbered 3-1 is not what you want. That is not what you want. Would someone join the dog pile? Well, Louis is plotting and is almost certainly going to declare on Hannibal again because these two hate each other. So probably not. It looks like this is a 1v1 from what I can tell. Looks like a 1v1. So we'll just keep an eye on this. So the good news is Kublai Khan does have rifles now. The bad news is Mehmed is an awful lot stronger, has like triple his military, and yeah. Well, one trebuchet though, so that's just a little bit of life there. Mehmed needs to get up to steel, so he has siege that can keep pace with his military. And go in steam power instead. All right, still no declaration up there. We had a little filler city tossed in here by Hannibal then. Hannibal first to infantry. I believe he is. No one else is at assembly line, although Mehmed's not that far behind. Kind of impressive what Hannibal's doing with his minimal territory. That's your financial alive right there. Just have walls. Yep, wall castles. This is going to take a while unless there's more siege that arrives. But this stack here does not have any siege in it, so they might just throw themselves at this city when they arrive. Yeah, the AI just like will not build catapults at this point because they're only strength 5, even though they need them. And thus the just one catapult thing that we've seen. Wow. This city got wrecked. There's one rifle with 1 health left, and then a bunch of catapults and trebuchets that don't get defensive bonuses. Jeez. If Mehmed had just attacked with everything, he would have easily captured it. Instead, he has a bunch of injured units that probably will still capture this between turns. Oh, never mind. It got reinforced. Never mind. Yeah, Mehmed's lack of steel is his biggest issue, but he's about to get steel. And then he'll build, then he'll actually take the time to build some cannons. Mehmed just went state property too. Interesting. All right, so yeah, Hannibal is working his way to assembly line. I just don't know if Hannibal could ever research fast enough to like win by spaceship. I just feel like he doesn't have enough territory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cities? That doesn't feel like enough. Especially with Mehmed starting to grind through Kublai Khan territory here. All right, so on we go. I don't think this is going to be a particularly fast game. Looks like the victory date might be a little later than what I was thinking. We do also have the United Nations as a possibility, though. So let's see if that gets built. Is it being built anywhere? Yep, Louis going to build that. Of course, Louis for culture is also very all right. Louis' cultural victory is actually looking pretty solid here. He just has built so much stuff. Even if he doesn't turn the slider on, I think he's in really good shape. Yeah, he's set to win a cultural victory in just 40 turns. I think he's got that. I don't think anyone can possibly win a victory faster than that. And it's not like he's going to lose one of his legendary cities. So I think Louis probably got this, barring something truly bizarre happening. He's just going to win too quickly. Yeah, Hannibal did put an extra city down on the border here. Like, even if Mehmed runs right through Kublai, he can't launch a spaceship in the next 40 turns. It's not going to happen. And that's even if Louis doesn't run the culture slider. So I think Louis got this. Pretty sure he's got this. So it's really looking like Louis for 1, Mehmed 2 between these, which means I had the wrong France. Had the wrong France. As far as the UN, I'm pretty sure the vote will just get split, but I guess there is a possibility that something else could happen. Because it would be Mehmed versus Louis. And these pluses are not big enough to get votes. I guess Kublai would vote for Tokugawa, but he's not going to be nominated, so I don't think that I don't think the UN can do anything too weird. Yeah, it's been a really good game for Louis. He's also been fortunate that he never was in a two-front war. His religion ended up being really big for him because he was able to convert both of his neighbors, Tokugawa and more importantly Mehmed, and then he just kind of had peaceful flanks on both sides. It's just hard to predict who's going to get the religions in this game too, because no one starts with mysticism. Yeah, friendly at +4. Welcome to having the same piece weight. Friendly at +4, indeed. So Luis still has not turned on the slider yet, but I just don't know that he even needs it. There are some cannons in the main stack for the Ottomans now. So they're going to continue grinding forward, but like I said, I'm not sure how much this really matters. Also, I'm a little surprised Louis never redeclared war. How about you? Are you plotting? All right, you're supposedly plotting war. Louis stopped plotting war. Okay, so he is not going to go to war. Excuse me. He was plotting it, but he canceled that, backed off. So it looks like we might have a fairly short game on our hands here. Last week's game was pretty short too. But cultural tends to be the fastest victory condition if somebody goes for it. So what is it? This is the third city. I mean, all right. Did he just turn on the slider? Yep, there, and there it is. There's the slider. Just turned it on. Long time on steam power. Yep, that's why. So 19. Wow, this is going to be an insanely fast victory, unless for some reason Reims or Paris is slower. But no, they're all. And Paris is 1,200 culture per turn. So this is like a turn 280 cultural victory. Jeez, 281. Much faster than I thought. Now maybe we can just stay on the 8 wars. That would be nice. I think we're gonna get one more though, because I think Hannibal is gonna declare on Tokugawa. So faster game than I thought. I don't think this is gonna be a particularly high-scoring game from the community. All right, yeah, Louis and Mehmed are gonna be nominated, but this vote's just gonna get split. In particular, because Kublai Khan was a popular pick in today, and he hasn't really achieved a whole lot, unfortunately for him. So Louis is the leading candidate. He picked up a vote from Kublai and Tokugawa. Of course, Kublai would vote for the opponent of Mehmed. So anyway, Beshbalik looks like it's going to get captured. And how many more turns do we have? It feels like this game's going to be over insanely fast, because it is going to be over insanely fast. I mean, this game's over in 15 turns. 281, as it was mentioned in the chat. That is an early ending to a game. We played 100 additional turns in the wildcard game. So, yeah, looks like it's going to be Mehmed and Louis out of this group. Good season for Louis, by the way. A really dominant opening round game, and he's been strong throughout this game, too. And a great performance from Mehmed, who I don't think anyone, basically no one gave him much of a shot. I wonder if this stack is big enough to just capture this city. The main stack is down here, it looks like. Definitely tearing right through Kublai Khan. So here's another, all right, global free religion. Here's another question. Does Kublai survive to the end of this game? Can he make it? He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities left. By the way, another turning point. How does this game play out differently if Kublai doesn't get the horses? I really wonder too, because like he almost missed getting this horses tile. Definitely would have been a little bit different. I think Kublai does survive to the end of this game, but largely because the game ends so fast. It's over in 10 more turns at this point. Just hoping we can stay on the... Okay, everybody goes free religion. Great. Hoping we can stay on the 8 wars. I'd be really pretty happy I could salvage something from this mess of a game. Get a couple points in what has otherwise been a pretty failed picking contest for today. I mean, I don't think that my read on the game was terrible. I was right that Louis and de Gaulle were going to be really strong. No, there it is. Hannibal, Sukhoran, Soku. Hannibal, why? You ruined it, buddy. War number 9. I said I thought we'd get one more. But yeah, I think this is going to be a kind of a disastrous scoring game for the community. Yeah, we're actually, yeah, it's still the 9 turns. I was wondering if you could shave another turn off this. It doesn't seem like it. All right, so what do we have over here in terms of this other war? Why did you even declare war? What was the purpose of this? To try to take Tokyo. By the way, how is Tokugawa still alive in this game? How is Toku still alive? He's been on 5 cities the entire game. Somehow he's still alive. Not quite sure how he managed that. So yeah, Kublai would not be long for this world otherwise. And I think if this went all the way to space, I think that Mehmed would actually out research Louis. But of course, that's not fair. Louis has been deliberately chasing after culture for most of the game, so he was not pushing pure research. Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean that's the correct answer. Willow had it in the chat. Why is he still alive? Because Louis likes him. That's why. Louis has kept him alive, basically. All right. Anyway, we got another little Hannibal stack running around. Can it take a city before the game comes to an end? Probably going to stop the bombard. No, he has cannons, so he can take down the defenses pretty fast. Only one death. We weren't that far off of a no deaths game for this playoff match. We've never had a nobody dies game in an actual match. It has happened in the alternate histories. But yeah, this is basically it. The second half of the game was not that exciting. After de Gaulle went down, that was kind of it as far as like the tension in the game. After that, it was pretty clear Mehmed Louis were going to be the top leaders, just who finished in which position. And with Louis having so much culture and so many holy cities, it was pretty likely he was going to go culture. All right, so yeah, there's not much left down here, but I think this is it. It's 281. No drama after the fall of France. No, not really. As I said, I don't think this is going to be a common. Well, Louis winning might be reasonably common, but I don't think Louis 1 Mehmed 2 is going to be that common of an outcome with de Gaulle first to die. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's going to be a common outcome. Yeah, so he almost managed to shave another turn off and get it down to turn 280, but it's going to be turn 281. What a game for Louis. I had the wrong France. It was indeed Louis. Well played. Very nicely done by Louis. A pretty dominant runaway performance. Note that he wasn't even first in score at the end of the game, but 281. So Louis, I got to jot this down. It's Louis first, Mehmed second. I want to get the order correct. All right, so Louis first, Mehmed second. When 5 AIs survive, it's kind of unusual. Hannibal, Tokugawa, and Kublai dropped into 5th place because he was in the process of dying when this game was going on. All right, now I've got that over on the other spreadsheet. Okay, but let's look at the. Did I screenshot this? Let's look at the replay of the map. Yeah, what a short game. Really short. Prediction result is survive, but not in top 2. All right, so what were the keys to this game? I really think one of the biggest keys to the game is Louis converting Mehmed and Tokugawa to his religion. I mean, like it was hard even to predict who would have which religion because nobody starts with mysticism. It's hard to predict who's going to get which one. But that was really big because the key thing in the game that ended up happening was Mehmed was Christian, so he sided with Louis, and then the border tension brought these two into a war, and then the border tension brought these two in a war. It could have happened otherwise. Kublai could have gone east and hit Hannibal, or it could have been that Mehmed picked up de Gaulle's religion, in which case they would have been pleased, even despite their border tension, and they wouldn't have fought. And then de Gaulle probably goes east and takes over Kublai Khan. So I think those were the biggest things that happened. Hannibal just kind of, I don't know, didn't really win or lose. He just kind of stalemated over the course of the game. And that meant that Louis could just sit back and do cultural stuff because he had allies on both sides via religion, and neither one of them would ever attack him. So he could just kind of pick his fights wherever he wanted. He 1v1'd Hannibal a couple times. He 1v1'd Kublai. Actually, he was in a situation where he was in the 2v1 and Kublai was in the two front war. So diplomacy really broke his way in a nice fashion, and he was really strong throughout the game. So you can't say it was like a fluke result. He was consistently strong. The other strong AI was de Gaulle, but de Gaulle ended up on the wrong side of the 2v1. And Louis was always on the plus side of diplomacy, largely thanks to his religion. So, yeah, pretty straightforward.